My friends, good morning. I'm here recording in the middle of the night. I wanted to vent to you. I wanted to know from you here, how many of you feel sad at Christmas? Do you too? We don't know how long we'll live, right? If we make it to 90 to 93 like my grandfather did. My grandmother actually made it to 93 or 94, I don't remember. Now, we don't know if we'll be able to reach that age. And if we stop to think about it, I'm 47 years old, so I've lived, right? Intensely, over 40 Christmases in 2018. I lost my grandfather last year and my grandmother. This is my second Christmas without my grandmother. The second Christmas without my grandmother. She missed the last Libertadores. My grandfather missed the last three, but I saw 81. Sorry for venting, but I just wanted to talk to you all honestly. Sometimes the person on the other side also needs to vent together, you know? It makes me really sad in a day. The people I love, I say I love because I will never forget the people I love with me on Christmas. It's a sad date for those who have lost. And my son Otto, who just arrived, brings some joy, but then I overthought it. It's such a special date, so special that I wonder how many more times, how many more Christmases I'll be able to celebrate. 30, 40. If I make it to 87 years old, 40. Have you ever stopped to think that's not many, right? How many years do I have left to see my Flamengo become champion? That's why you have to live intensely, man, because we don't know how much time we have. I really believe, in the advancement of technology, stem cells, synthetic organs, people getting their organs replaced to live 150, 200 years. I think that's possible, okay? I'm not talking about the transcendence people often mention, about you doing the upload of your consciousness to a machine, which I would be willing to do. I think a lot about being able to keep learning, getting to know places, living, but me. But that's only fun if you have people with you. There's no point in living forever if you don't have the people you love by your side. I've already lost many loved ones. I saw Indiana Jones once in that movie Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. He said his father's friend tells him, there are times when it happens, a moment when life stops giving and starts taking away. Life has already taken a lot from me, but now it has given me a little too, just a little, not much, right? Which is my son who just arrived. But is this a Christmas outburst? The dogs are sleeping. One is 9 years old, one is 2. And we know that they also live their lives. It goes by fast for them too, right? Zuka already has all her fur turning white. Our loved ones. So guys, that's it. That's what I wanted. This Christmas message is a message to vent and at the same time a conversation with you all here, because what's the point of us being here and not talking, right? Isn't it? I'll bring you the news about Flamengo here. I just want to remind you that the sponsors are there in the pinned comment, and this month you have it coming up soon. The next celebration is New Year's Eve on the night of the turn. We have 3 prizes of 1 million reais each and 1 prize of 2 million reais on January 2nd, okay? So that's 5 million in prizes, not counting the instant prizes of up to 100,000 reais, scratch and win. It's picks straight to your account, so I invite you to join the Million Picks Club benefits, making sure you secure these benefits. You can exchange points for products, experiences, and you also get the right to participate in these raffles, these prize draws. I also want to invite you to lose weight in a healthy way, with more hair, with the Mais Linda, Mais Cabello program, which has been our partner for a long time. And also, right, let me let you know that the QR code will be on the screen. I'll leave it there throughout the video, and also the QR code for the Million Picks. But I wanted to remind you that you can call Harudo's Caravan. So to wrap up the Recopa, we can already close out the Recopa, both games, Flamengo's games in the Brasileirão. Already at Maracanã, you can already book your trip to follow Mengão at Maracanã and also wait. So, right, already talked to them to start looking into the reservation for the Supercopa. Well, to bring you important information regarding the transfer market and also about Flamengo. They might make some money, right, with homegrown players who are being negotiated, right? There is a former Flamengo executive probably going to Corinthians, and it won't be Marcos Braz. Apparently, it's going to be the other Flamengo executive, okay? And I'm going to start here by talking about the prize money for the Campeonato Carioca, which could make Flamengo surpass the prize money, what they earned in prize money in 2025, and surpass the 2025 revenue. And this prize money is going to be really good. Look, the Campeonato Carioca has changed its financial model and will have prize money for the champion. In 2026, the Campeonato Carioca will adopt a new financial distribution model with greater emphasis on sports performance and prize money for the champion club. In a meeting held on Tuesday at the Fergie headquarters, the 12 clubs approved the change. According to journalist Gilmar Ferreira from Jornal Extra, out of the 90 million raised with the master sponsor, 30 million will be allocated to fixed quotas. Flamengo gets 10 million as a fixed amount in this format, plus another part based on sports performance. Flamengo gets 10 million, while Vasco, Fluminense, and Botafogo each get 6 million. Okay, Flamengo used to get 27 million up front, but now they must win the championship to receive 27.5 million. Okay, yeah, so the other 46 million will be distributed based on sports performance, right? Quarterfinalists each get 1 million, and the Taça Guanabara champion earns an extra 1 million bonus. The semi-finalists each get 2.5 million, the finalists get another 5 million each, and the champion gets an additional 5 million. There you go. The Campeonato Carioca starts on the 14th, and what about that amount? So Flamengo must rely on their youth squad and more. They've always done that, winning 2 championships this way and possibly a third. So beyond the high prize money, Flamengo's chance for a three-peat is very important. This Flamengo who even used to put the stars for their 3 championships on their jersey. There you go. So we have an amount that could reach 27.5 million reais, which would be very important for Flamengo's revenue in 2026. Yeah, we had it. I was discussing the transfer market. Once again, Flamengo fans were asking for the signing of Breno Biden, a player who's only 20 years old, right? Flamengo fans are asking for Biden's signing. He even pulled off a magical play in Corinthians' second goal, right? The goal by Memphis Depay. Everyone wants him signed after he dominated Vasco da Gama, right? Flamengo fans then asked director Jose Boto and everyone else for the signing. In January, they were going to drop 20 million on Biden, a midfielder for 10 years at Flamengo. I agree. Flamengo should pursue Breno Bidon, a young, healthy, talented soccer player who would strengthen and refresh the squad. Man, there are a lot of Flamengo fans asking for Breno Bidon's signing. He's a rare gem in South America. Breno Bidon, welcome to Flamengo then, man. Including Flamengo, who are facing Corinthians in the Supercup, and we have Bagre Neto, right? The star Neto is asking for the match against Corinthians to be at Maracanã with half and half fans, so there can be a Corinthians invasion. Let's watch it and see what he says.
Supercup at the King, goes to Maracanã. Corinthians invade Maracanã again. Give half of the tickets, that's 30,000 tickets for Corinthians, and play at Maracanã. Corinthians and Flamengo at Maracanã.
Let's go, man. Let's go. That's how it was done. For the invasion issue, it's not a good idea. Veloso invasion, what are you talking about, man? Invasion, that's not a thing. There's no such thing as invasion. If it's half and half, the guys will take the bus, they'll take the car, and they'll come by plane. They'll come to Rio de Janeiro, not because I'm there, but just to go to Rio. So, man, invasion, that's over. That's been over for a long time, this invasion thing, right? Flamengo invaded. Flamengo also travels all over Brazil. Actually, there are Flamengo fans everywhere. So now Flamengo is Vasco. You guys think Flamengo is Vasco, right? We're going to follow this Super Cup final. So it's likely to be in Manaus or Brasilia, but it would be nice if it were at Maracanã. Let it be at Maracanã, especially because our crowd is in Rio de Janeiro. It would definitely fill up your sections too. Flamengo's fans are doing well. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas anyway, before we continue with the video. And we also have some other important information to share with you about the transfer market, right? It's the journalist Ekrem Connor. The Turkish journalist brought the following information. Flamengo is preparing a 20 million euro offer for the player. Tati Castellanos, known as Tati, but his full name is Valentin Castellanos, an Argentine national team level player, spectacular striker, and a player for Lazio. According to Ekrem Connor, Flamengo is preparing a 20 million euro offer for Castellanos. Lazio as well. They want at least 30 million euros, but it might drop to 25. This deal could happen. But 20 million euros, which is what Flamengo is offering, it's really hard for Flamengo to get him for that. Okay, guys? So Flamengo will try. Obviously, Flamengo will do everything to sign Castellanos for a lower price. But it's unlikely that Lazio will accept, knowing that the player is an important piece, even though Lazio needs to make some deals over there. And all that transfer ban and everything else, but I don't think they'll want to let Tati Castellanos go easily, okay? We also had Flamengo trying to sign a standout player from the Brasileirão at Felipe Luiz's request, okay? So Flamengo seeking these signings, and Felipe sent Flamengo, Bodo and company to look for information about João Vitor. But the situation didn't move forward with the Mirassol defender. And another name that Flamengo is insisting on, according to the Fla column as well, is Tati Castellanos, who I was just talking about here now. Currently at Lazio, who has already been targeted by the Red and Black Club. In fact, the information is that he would be willing to negotiate with Flamengo. Jose Boto could appear in Italy at any moment. To resolve this issue of hiring Tati, the defender from Mirassol, João Vitor, it was just interest, according to the column itself. There was interest, but there's nothing concrete, no offer or anything like that, and not even a response from the player. Just like so far, there hasn't been any response regarding John Arias, right? Who is also of interest to Flamengo. All right, so for everyone who's been asking and all, it's answered here now. Look. Milan is pursuing Hugo Souza from Corinthians, while Flamengo remains interested, okay? They want to sign Hugo Souza, take him away from Corinthians, especially if they sell Breno Bidon. Corinthians is in a tough spot. They won the title, but now need to sell players, right? If Breno Bidon, Hugo Souza, and others are sold, Corinthians' level will drop a lot, right? According to GE, Milan made an offer to sign Hugo after the end of the 2025 season. The amount offered was considered low by Corinthians, so they immediately rejected the offer. But something else might come up. Are you there? He has a contract with Corinthians until December 31, 2029. Corinthians own 60% of the player's economic rights. The goalkeeper's release clause for foreign clubs is 100 million euros, 652 million reais. That'll never happen, right? And Milan will also need to negotiate with Flamengo. Flamengo owns 40% of the rights. Besides that, since they developed him, Flamengo is entitled to an additional solidarity payment. So Flamengo would get around 43 to 45%, okay? Hugo Souza has already been in Portugal, at Chaves in Portugal, right? And then there's this possibility of Milan making a bigger offer and Flamengo will get a good amount of money, right? 45. Corinthians will also get an interesting amount. That's if they really sell, okay? And Flamengo can even use that money to help with the signing of Breno Bidon. People are asking for it, right? So what if then Breno Bidon, transfer market? Many names are coming up with fans requesting Breno Bidon, João Vitor, and Tati Castellan. And just to tell you here that Flamengo was the team that won the most trophies in 2025. Impressive Flamengo, a historic achievement, right? Flamengo won the most trophies worldwide in 2025. Flamengo is impressive, guys. Congratulations to Flamengo. We were just discussing Flamengo and Corinthians who are playing each other. We mentioned players of interest and covered everything. Corinthians, Copa do Brasil champions, will play Flamengo in the Supercopa, so expect a lot of discussion about both teams. Corinthians has Bruno Spindle, former director, as the favorite for the position of football executive. They are looking to fill the position left by Fabinho Soldado, who terminated his contract with the club and is in negotiations with the former Flamengo director. So it's Bruno Spindle and not Marcos Braz like people were saying, right? The news that just came out is that the name that really interests Corinthians to replace Fabinho Soldado is Bruno Spindle, right? He's experienced executive director at Flamengo. And my friends, we have a situation here to talk to you about because BAP even messed with the minds of rival fans, okay? The interview that BAP gave was a mind-blowing experience for Fluminense fans. For example, fans from several clubs, a lot of people praising, including BAP himself, because of the lesson he gave, right? And for the things he said, including even regarding what some people understood to be Fluminense, right? Fans and Carlos Daniel, a Fluminense influencer, he made it clear that he liked what BAP said and that it really got them thinking. Look at that, look at that.
The Flamengo guy threw shade at Fluminense. Watch this video closely. I'm not saying it for sure, it's a question. I want you, the fan, to watch and comment. Do you think it was a jab at Fluminense? What the president revealed, something very serious that the president of Flamengo exposed.
In 2029, I think Flamengo will be the only Brazilian club, not a Sociedade Anônima do Futebol, and it'll be at the World Cup. They like that. Then look at Flamengo. How am I supposed to compete with these sons of bitches? Look there, look. But he's talking about Fluminense, right? Obviously, many fans
of Fluminense saw themselves in the situation here. So I ask you, I'm not stating anything. We aren't sure about anything. We don't know which clubs they are. He said there are several clubs. He didn't say it was a specific club. Several clubs are going through this. Do you think Fluminense is one of the clubs he mentioned? Comment below. I want your thoughts. What about Flamengo's president?
I think it is. It wasn't a hint. It wasn't super direct. Carlos Daniel was super direct. Only those who don't want to see it don't see it. To me, it was very clear that he's talking specifically about Fluminense, right? Because I remember the issue with Mario Bittencourt taking it to the council for a vote. The issue with the Sociedade Anônima do Futebol, according to the information, he would be the chief executive officer. So guys, be very careful with this Sociedade Anônima do Futebol thing. Be very careful about selling your club. Honestly, I'm very proud to know that Flamengo, apparently, will be the only one to remain without becoming a Sociedade Anônima do Futebol. That's it. Please follow, like, and share on all platforms. On YouTube, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like the video. Red and black greetings from Flamengo. Merry Christmas and thanks.